Hello everyone and welcome to this, the latest episode of Book Time with Elvis, with me Mark. And may I say how wonderful it is once again that you've come along to join me and talk about books. So, it's March. I feel like I'm quite a way behind everybody else. And certainly since I've started doing this, I haven't read very much actually. I find that so often I'm watching other people's channels and thinking about things to talk about for this, that my reading actually so far has suffered. But I'm going to remedy that, and I've come up with my list of books to read this month, and I'm going to try and stick with the themes that I see everybody else doing. So that would include March Mystery Madness, Mammoth Reads, and of course Women's History Month. So to start with the mystery books that I've chosen for March, I'm going to continue in a series that I very much enjoyed up to now, and this is the new Nuala series by Harriet Steele. And the book I'm going to read is the fourth book in the series, which is called Fatal Finds in Nuala. And it is the stories are set in the 1930s in Ceylon, or nowadays Sri Lanka. They're set in a fictional town, this town of Nuala, and they are murder mysteries, cozy mysteries. They're not very big, not very long. The main character is Inspector Shanti De Silva. He's married. He's a local Sri Lankan, and he's married to an English woman called Jane, which I suppose at the time would have been very unusual. So that makes it very interesting, and they're just very easygoing, very nice books, and I really look forward to continuing the series with this one, Fatal Finds in Nuala. The next book and the mystery theme is called The Department of Sensitive Crimes by Alexander Mccall Smith, known for writing the Ladies' Number One Detective Agency books. This is kind of his take on the Scandinavian mystery craze that seems to be going on these days. And I read a very, very short novella that introduced this character, and I thought it was quite funny, like most of his books are, so I thought it would be good to try the series. At the moment I think there are only 2 books, maybe possibly 3, but it is quite new, only within the last 2 years or so. So The Department of Sensitive Crimes by Alexander Mccall Smith is the book I will, the second mystery book that I will be reading this month. Now on to the Mammoth Reads, which thankfully I have started, as it's quite a long book. It is of course over 800 pages. I believe it is less than 900 pages though. And it's a big non-fiction history book, and it's called Vietnam, an epic tragedy, 1945 to 1975, and it's by who I believe to be one of the best war historians, British war historians around, and that's Max Hastings. And this is really good. I mean, I've started it. I've got up to, where have I got up to? The late 1950s, and the French are struggling to control the situation in Vietnam, and they've approached the US President Eisenhower for some form of help or intervention. So yeah, it's a big book. I hope to get it done. Luckily the 2 mystery books are quite short, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, on to Women's History Month. And the first book that I would like to try for Women's History Month is The Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole. Excuse me, sorry about that. The problem with holding these things up. The Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole. Now, Mary Seacole, if you don't know, was, if you like, the black Florence Nightingale. She was voted not long ago the greatest black Briton. She was born in Jamaica at the start of the 19th century to a Jamaican mother and a Scottish father, and she had developed this interest in medicine from a young age, and she went on a few adventures to different countries like Panama, and then she found herself getting involved in the Crimean War, where she opened up like a nursing house to look after soldiers who who were injured and needed time to convalesce. I think she's one of those people who maybe a lot of people don't know, unfortunately. I did come across her only once really in my life, and that was when I was a 16-year-old student doing school exams, and I had to read an article on her. But yeah, this is her autobiography, so it will be very interesting to read about her life in her own words, and no doubt I'll tell you more about it once I've read it. The second book in Women's History Month is another interesting read, I think. It's called A Woman in Berlin, and it is based on 8 weeks worth of diaries of an anonymous woman who lived in Berlin at the end of the Second World War. So it chronicles just 8 weeks in an occupied city and what happens to this woman during that time. As I say, it's an anonymous writer, and the introduction here is by the historian Anthony Beaver. And according to the cover there, Kate Moss, not the author, not the model, she says it's one of the most powerful books she has ever read. So I think that will be jolly good. So, moving on to the next one, or the final one actually, is this book, Persian Pictures by Gertrude Bell. And this book, Persian Pictures, follows her adventures. It says they're from the mountains to the sea. And this is a book actually written by Gertrude Bell. I know there are a few biographies of her. She was a very famous travel writer, politician. She got involved with the whole Arabian situation at the end of the First World War. She was well known to people like Colonel Lawrence, Lawrence of Arabia. And I think she's someone who's probably underappreciated, though maybe not perhaps in recent years. I believe there was a film about her with what's her name, Nicole Kidman, though I didn't hear very good reviews about it. I did read a biography of her, and it was excellent, but it was a good few years ago, and unfortunately the name of the author escapes me. So yeah, those are the books I've chosen to read this month, and I'm very excited, and I'm also very excited to get them read and then come back and tell you what I thought about them. I'd just like to thank everybody for being so welcoming in this community. It's really very nice. I'm quite blown away by the lovely comments and interactions I've had already, and it's just very exciting. I kind of regret not having joined BookTube earlier, but then I suppose, as they say, better late than never. And I think it's going to be very, very exciting. It really is exceptionally interesting for me to see what other people are reading, to hear their thoughts and opinions on that. And of course, it does give me some good recommendations as well for my future reading. Although, as I've mentioned a few times, it does seem that the to-be-read mountain climbs ever higher. It's almost a step, isn't it, of you take one step forward and three steps back, but in a good way, of course. And this is really a wonderful community. And once again, thank you all for being so welcoming. And thank you for watching this. And I wish you all well, stay safe, and keep healthy. All the best. Until next time. Bye bye.